All right. Well, hi, everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Million Mom Movement Community Action Call. My name is Dominique Jeffries, and I'm co hosting this call tonight with my council member, my fellow council member, Naiva Flory. And we are the Million Mom Movement. So if you're joining us for the first time tonight, we are the activist arm within our incredible superfood community called Purium. But we are not just limited to mothers. So I know that mom is in the title of our community, but MOM actually stands for Movement of Many. So whether you are a parent, you're an uncle, an aunt, a sister, a brother, any of that, then you are a part of our community, right? Even educators, grandparents, influencers, anyone who honestly is committed to spreading health, well-being, and economic opportunity around organic superfood nutrition. So I'm going to share my screen and show you a little bit more about our community and who we are. But if 1,000 of us share this incredible blessing of superfood nutrition with 10 families each across 100 different communities, we become 1 million strong. So that is our mission. But before we get into today's presentation about back to school and share more about our business opportunity, I like to open it up to our pledge. We always have someone, a guest, read our pledge. And instead of raising hands, I'm just gonna call on you, Max, because I know you're unmuted now, to read our pledge. And yeah, just read it out loud, and then you can share what this community means to you.
All right, so I'll do my best mom impression. Let me see where the pledge went.
All right, 1 second. Let me go back. Here we go.
So the Million Mom Movement pledges to, I just saw it and disappeared again. Our
There we
vision, is it this one? Here we go. I pledge to defend the health of myself and my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free of man-made ingredients. I pledge to read labels and educate myself on all aspects of clean living. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and environment of future generations. I'm committing to sharing this movement of many. I'm the Million Mom Movement.
Thank you for reading that. And I know you are a guest with us tonight, so you'll share your story in just a second. But if you could just share a little bit briefly about what this movement or this community means to you personally.
Well, it means a lot to me. One of the reasons that we're doing this is for back to school, as mentioned before, and I wouldn't have been able to be homeschooled by my mom, ironically enough, if it wasn't for this business, if it wasn't for sorry, it's my dog barking in the background. If it wasn't for this opportunity, I wouldn't have been able to have been homeschooled by my mom. So it's been very important to me, very, very, sorry, I'm trying to calm him down. Very
Oh, you're
important to me, and I truly appreciate the business and the business model. So that's just a little early rundown.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm excited to hear more about your story and to share it. But yeah, like Max said, this is about back to school. And also, sorry guys, there's some technical difficulties with the screen sharing, but if you could just be patient with us as we change some things. Thanks, Christine in the chat. But yes, our topic tonight is back to school. And we really want to highlight how this income opportunity can support you in building income, residual income while you're in school, right? So drop a 1 in the chat if maybe you are going back to school soon, maybe you have kiddos or grandchildren, someone that's close to you that's headed back to school, either if they started this month or are starting soon. Grace, yes, I know you're going to share your story later tonight too. Maybe they're in college. And you can also drop in the chat. Are they in college? Are they in kindergarten? Maybe they're getting their master's. Maybe they're in high school, college. Great. Right. I love seeing all the little kids back to school photos on Facebook and on Instagram with people going back to school. But honestly, when we go to school, right, the number one reason for us is to learn something, right? To learn something new or to further our education, but also to build community, right? To build friendships, to even explore what it is that we love and what we're good at, but also to take that and pour back into society and to make it a better place. And then, of course, our number one reason is to support ourselves financially and to explore what it is that you love and what lights you up. But usually, sometimes, depending on what the career path is that you follow or you're studying in school, most of the time we don't have the opportunity to truly build wealth, right? To create an income that we can use to leverage our efforts, our energy, our gifts, where we don't have to work alone, but with others, and also an opportunity that really allows us to nourish ourselves physically and emotionally so that we can pour our gifts back into the work that we do. And that's honestly what we're here and what we're about here at Purium is sharing an opportunity, an income opportunity that provides flexibility for you, that allows you to build residual income, leverage community and sovereignty in your health. So I wanted today's presentation just for you to kind of think about what it is that your gifts are, whether you're in school or not, or if you've been to school, before and have studied, your craft, what it is that you are passionate about, what lights you up, what you're good at, what your gifts are, and how this opportunity can really truly further that and support you in building income on the side and potentially replace your full-time income as well. So we have a few testimonials tonight. I'm going to go ahead and open it up to Max, who you just heard from. Like he mentioned, he has been a part of this community for a long time. His parents are actually crown leaders in our community, have been in the business for over 10 years. And I know, Max, you recently launched your business about a few years ago, but if you could just start off and just give us a background as to what it was like growing up in this community and what made you say yes to launching your own business 2 years ago.
So for me, what I really appreciated about this business was not just the business model, but also the products themselves. They definitely benefited my life. This is complete holistic nutrition, and taking this since I was a baby, since I was in the womb, I've been growing up on these products and on these supplements, and I've noticed a significant difference when I'm on them versus when I'm not on them. They're very healthy. So due to that factor, it made me want to commit to joining this business and supporting this business due to the fact that I've seen it physically help my life and improve my life. I've seen it give my parents time freedom and time flexibility. My dad was able to build this business himself, and due to that fact, he has a lot of time freedom now because of residual income, as well as my mom. And due to the residual income, we have the freedom to spend time together as a family. My mom was able to homeschool me, and due to that factor, I became very appreciative of the business, and it's something I've become very passionate about because I've seen it directly positively impact my life. So I've definitely been very supportive of this business, not just because of the products which I take on a daily basis, but also because of how I've seen it positively impact my family.
Yeah. Wow. I can't imagine growing up eating these foods from the womb. This is literally like all you know is this nutrition and supporting you. And also just watching your parents be able to build their dream life, right? And then for you to be the product of that and experience that, I think that's such a blessing. And I know so many people, here listening have that same vision, same dream, for their family. Okay, so you turned 18, you launched your business. What was it like when you first launched your business? What really excited you? How was it going from watching your parents to kind of having your own, getting your own feet wet in this opportunity?
So for me, it definitely is something that requires a lot of time and effort. You have to really commit to it and view it like a job. A lot of people don't end up going far in these types of businesses like sales because they view it as a part-time thing. They're too lazy to give it everything. And I'm not saying any of us are perfect, but overall, if you treat it like a career, then I see it really benefiting and I see people that give that time. And for me, when I did give time to the business, that's when I was able to really see substantial results. And it definitely was rewarding when I would talk to people that would take the products that I knew personally that enjoyed the supplements and actually thanked me for them and said that it positively impacted their life. So knowing that you're not just selling something to someone, but you're actually helping them when they receive the products themselves, that definitely made me very happy and was rewarding.
Yeah, exactly. And feeling that yourself personally instead of just kind of watching your parents share it and hearing the stories of people they've impacted, but that direct connection. Christine said she loves your energy and your confidence, your passion for these superfoods and for the business. Yeah, I mean, like
Thank you.
you grew up in this, so you've been in the energy of this, this nutrition and how it can really nourish you. Okay, so I know that you are also in real estate. Can you share a little bit more about how, what really drew you to real estate, what you love about that, and how this nutrition is also supporting you,
Mhm.
endeavor as well?
Yeah, so what drew me to real estate in particular is because I've always been an entrepreneur since I was young. And due to that factor, I felt that real estate was a good route to start due to the fact that I'm so young. So me joining at such a young age, the average person that gets into real estate gets into, I don't remember the exact age, but I know it was at least double the age I am now. And they're still able to get very successful in a few years' time. So I view it as me joining at a young age gives me a large advantage over a lot of my peers. And due to that factor, especially if it being commission based, I'm a competitive person, so I embraced that aspect of real estate as well. And I'm just passionate about being in South Florida, where the market, I know the market's all over the place sometimes, but South Florida is a great market for real estate in particular. So for me, I felt it just logically made a lot of sense. I did not go down the college route, and due to that, I was figuring out what route made the most sense for someone like me with my personality, and real estate is what I got drawn towards. And I'm looking forward to seeing how the process continues. It's very similar to Purium, not exactly the same, but the type of way of being successful, it's not very different. It's very similar, to be honest.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of real estate agents that have found success in network marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that you chose, made the decision to follow your path with entrepreneurship and not go to college. And I know that you also mentioned that you're studying for a couple of certifications, right, in holistic health.
Correct.
Share-
Yeah. So because of my passion for the products themselves and also me wanting to slowly grow this business on the side, I decided with my parents, because they actually gave me the idea, but I decided after they brought it up to me to get my nutrition certification, my corrective exercise specialist cert, and eventually my personal training cert, which I'm working on right now, and see if I could find a way to combine the two, combine the personal training with the supplements together simultaneously. So for me, I felt like due to my passion for exercising, for working out, and for health, I felt it was a no-brainer.
Yeah. Wow, you're doing so much. You have your hands in so many pots, which is really cool and great at, your age too. Can you share? I know you've been eating these superfoods for your whole life, but now that you are, dibbling into entrepreneurship, you're studying for the certifications and, obviously you're growing your period business at the same time. Can you share how this nutrition is really supporting you energetically and physically with all the things that, you have going on in your life?
Yeah, so I'm a bit of a health freak, even more than my parents, ironically enough, even though they're the ones that were in the business first and promoted health. I took it even further than them, and due to that fact, I felt that Purium, the products themselves, have been very vital in my life and very important to a point where if I chose not to have the products, I would not just feel a difference, but I would also, in my mind, think about the difference, knowing that I'm not getting the nutrients that I would normally be getting with the supplements. So for me, I would take a lot of the products per day. I would take the aminos before working out. I would take the cherry with the pineal clear before bed. I would have the beets with the cocoa hydrate. And then later in the day, I would have the proteins after my workout as well. So for me, the products have been extremely important to a point where it really ignites my passion for the business. If it wasn't for this being a health supplement business, I probably wouldn't have the passion for it that I do. But due to the fact that I literally take the products every day without fail, it makes me speak from genuine experience and genuine passion.
Exactly, right? And that's exactly what we do here is share from our own experiences, share the experiences of others, like, you sharing your story. Is it really easy to share it with other real estate agents or people in the field that you meet, just because it's been your lifestyle for so long?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to bring it up. I think once you actually try to get them to join is obviously a whole different process, and there's steps that are necessary to be taken that we've seen other top brand partners in the company implement. But for me, when it comes to just bringing the products up and letting them know what I take, because I go to the gym a lot and I work out a lot and I'm always exercising, it becomes pretty natural because it's so commonly used for me, these products. They're so important and instrumental to my life that if I don't bring it up, it's almost like I'm hiding something because I take them on such a common basis.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you so much for being here and sharing your story. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to add.
I just want to thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of the Zoom goes. And once again, I truly appreciate you having me on, and I truly appreciate the business. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I think your story is so special because you really are this, Purium legacy of what it's like to pass not just the business down to, but this nutrition down to, our family, to continue on, this health legacy and this residual income business. And I just love that you are expanding into entrepreneurship and, diving into so many different areas and that you have this to support you at any time and to share freely. And that's what I want all of you also to remember is that this is a lifestyle business, right? When you eat the foods, you love them, you transform, you want to share it with others, and it becomes really easy and simple to share. And then you can continue to grow, your business, no matter what it is that you're doing. If it's something you want to focus on full time, or if it's something you want to do part time. I know that even Max said that he's, been studying personal training and getting his certificate. but you don't have to have those certificates to launch your
Don't.
period business, right? You don't have to. Honestly, all you have to do is want to transform your health, and you can get your business complimentary, which is such a blessing. Because a lot of people do think that they have to get certifications, they have to, spend a lot of money on the front end to launch a business. But with this, you're really just covering the cost of your food for an entire month. So thank you for sharing, and definitely want to have you back on again sometime soon too in the fall.
Of course. Thank you so much. My pleasure.
Thank you. Wonderful. Well, next I want to introduce another guest of ours who is actually works in a school system. I have Grace on. She is in Idaho, right? Yeah, you're in Idaho, and works at high school with children who are special needs. And I definitely want to, I have so many questions, but at first I want to start with just your background and kind of what drew you to working, as an educator with children, and what you really love most about working with children with special needs. You should be able to unmute now. There you go, Grace.
Oh, hi, everyone, and thank you, Dominic, for letting me share. First, my name is Grace Briseno, and like Dominic said, I live in Idaho, and I work with the special needs students at school. But 4 years ago, I discovered Purion, and it's honestly transformed both my personal health and opening up an incredible business opportunity. It work with students. It gave me so much joy because I can support the community, and this community really needs us.
Yeah, they really do. They really do. So what do you share how you found Purium and what really drew you to saying yes to launching your business?
Excuse me, I couldn't hear the question.
Oh, I said, tell us how you found Purium and what really drew you to saying yes to this business opportunity.
Yeah, I found Purion almost 4 years ago, and I was really excited about the products because I was prior I was making my own juices and investing a lot of time. But when I found this, I was really excited because it was easy for me. It was convenient, and plus I was excited to share how this company aligns with my values and support me in ways I never expected.
Beautiful. Can you share more about what your values are that Purium aligned with that you loved?
Yes, like I said at the beginning, I was excited about the products because I had so much energy. And I couldn't believe the difference they made in how I feel every single day. But when I become about so much more than just its personal results, what really drew me, it was discovering their mission and values. And for me, Purion is an honest company that genuinely cares about people, the planet, and the animals. And I always say we're not just selling products, we are on a mission to support and empower families to eat healthy. And my passion became helping others and achieve their goals, just like I had achieved mine, especially since I work with the special needs students every day, and I see how nutrition affects their energy and behavior. So, and I know you have a couple more questions about my physical and financially. You want me keep going with those?
Yeah, well, first I want to talk. I remember I looked at your Facebook and I saw you made a post that was so beautiful and it really touched me. And you said that when you started your business, you realized that, if educators don't know about this opportunity or know about glyphosate and a lot of the problems in our food system, right, then how can we expect families to make informed choices about their health? So yeah, share a little bit more about how it's been educating your community, whether it's been teachers or your family, or anyone that's close to you about what we have and what that really means to you as an educator, because you are an educator, not just in the classroom, right? But outside of the classroom too, and especially with this business opportunity. But what has that been to you to spread this mission to, you know, other families?
Yes, for me, it's super important. And it was kind of sad because when I started, I was so excited sharing with my colleagues, but they seems like they didn't know about this. But at the same time, they were not like no interested and no more. And I was trying hard to sending them posting and sharing with them, but they were like, yeah, it's like something normal. So I was kind of shocked, but anyway, I was keep sharing and making posting and posting and talking about the problem, talking with the community, talking to everybody, because I know that this is a serious thing. This is linked with cancer, and we really know what we are using to feed our bodies. So for me, that was kind of shocking that they were like not very like aware, or they didn't even know what was that. So when I found this company, I thought, oh, they're really serious about people's health because they really care. And since that, well, I'm in this mission, and I don't want to stop.
Well, we're glad to have you a part of this mission too. And that's honestly why Dave and Amy have this business model with network marketing, is so that we, the people, can spread the mission, can spread, you know, what is that we have, share resources with others to get the word out there, right? So let's shift, to more about the business side and the impact you've made. What is your rank in the company?
I am a green diamond.
Green Diamond, which is incredible, right? I'm also a Green Diamond too. And so to be at the Green Diamond level, right, you do have to help others earn income, right? It's not just sharing products, it's not just helping people with their health, but it's also empowering them in the business. So what has that been like for you, is, you know, educating people about their health, but also being a leader and growing your business also while being, you know, a teacher and educator too?
Yeah. Once that I discovered this, and like at the beginning, I wasn't so excited about the business part, but then I realized that this is something that will be helping more people. So I started sharing because I experienced real results and real success. And when I hit Green Diamond, I received my first bonus was 1,700, then another for 1,300, plus commissions. And I was so happy. I was able to get my laptop, change my laptop, and get money for my ticket for convention. And right now I am rebuilding this phase and working hard to get to the next level. And I know the potential is there because I have been there, and I see it. So the financial rewards in Purion are real, and I have experienced them firsthand. So my goal is to help more people, and this is one of my passions, always helping, supporting others with what I learn, and to make them also success.
Exactly. Congratulations on your bonuses and everything. That's such a blessing, especially for someone like you said that you weren't as interested in the business at first, but for you to see so much success financially here, obviously is just shows, you know, how much you care about helping people. If you could share too, how has it been building your business and also working in school? I know right now you said you're not in school. School starts soon, later this month, but how do you balance working at this as, you know, a special needs educator and then also growing your business too? What did that look like when you were growing it, building it at the same time?
Well, I have my schedule, and I uh, try to don't meet them skip meetings. So for me, when I finish at around 4, so I know that there are 3 days that I have to be in those meetings. So those days, uh, I stick to my schedule, and if for any reason I can't be in the meeting, I watch the recording most of the time. But yeah, it requires effort because but because I have these superfoods, I always had the energy to keep going, because without my superfoods or my shake, honestly I would be exhausted, because it's not easy. And but I think my balance is that I try to be in the meetings, listen in my team always, even when I am work. In my lunchtime, I try to read quickly my what is happening. I can respond in the chat, or I can talk much because I'm working. But in my lunchtime, this is when I had the time to look fast, and then I say, okay, I have to work in this, or if they're making a promotion, then I have in my mind what do I have to work in when I came home, and this is how I plan my day. So I don't know if I respond to the whole question.
Oh, that was perfect. Yeah. And that just speaks to you being organized, right? You're treating this like a business, like you said, you can't be as hands-on because you do work most of the day. But once you are off from work, like you said, you try to listen into the meetings. I know all of our corporate calls are recorded, your team trainings, things like that, so that you can stay in the energy of what we have and be able to still, help people. But I love that you are time blocking and doing all those things to be able to still have balance. And then, of course, like you mentioned, the superfoods are what fuel you to be the best version of yourself, whether you're growing your Purium business or, connecting with people about Purium, or while you're working. Which brings me to one of my last questions for you was, share what are some of your favorite superfoods that you like to bring with you to work, at school, what really supports you in maintaining that energy and, just pouring into yourself in that way.
Yeah, I every single day, and they see me with my power shake, my power shake, my superfoods, and I know mostly of them they just eat their food. And it was interesting because when I was making an event in town, one of the teachers came, and then she said, oh yeah, here is Grace. She's always with her power shake and drinking this. So what is this about? And then I was able to share with her more. And at the time she was, oh yes, I'm ready to this. But then, well, we had to give her a little more time, because she said, well, right now I can't afford, but I really want to do this. But everybody at school know, because I always talk to all of them. So all the students, all some students, one of the students became brand partner. Now she's out, so she's not doing the business, but she started with the business. And then one of the teachers, she got the transformation program, and she's a nutrition teacher. That was
Wow.
yeah. And she said, Grace, I know what we need more. We need more nutrients. We need more supplements. So she got the program. So, but one person, but I've never give up. And I know this year I have, this convention that renew us. So I will go back, and I know I will be talking with them more. And, for some people it takes 1 year, 2 years, and then finally decide. So it's my hope that many of them now, they can see that they really need this.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing your story and being here and being, an extension of sharing this blessing, right, to the people at the school that you work at. I love that you said one of the students was able to launch her business, and, you're sharing it with other teachers, because just in the school setting in general, students, but also professors, teachers really need this nourishment, right? I think that they deserve it more than anyone. People who work in the service industry, especially who are pouring into our children, they really need to make sure that their bodies are clean and clear, but also to have the extra stream of income, right? And how that can really give you peace of mind, how that can pour into providing for things for yourself. I know there's been a lot of teachers that I see on social media who are looking to, support their back to school that they need for filling up the classroom with different notebooks and things for the students to have. And they don't really have much of a budget from the education system. So they're kind of reaching out to people in their community. But imagine what this business model could do to provide for them, where they could cover the cost of what their students need for back to school with their Purium business. So Grace, thank you again for being here, for sharing your story. Definitely want to have you back again.
Oh, my pleasure.
As you are go back to school soon and you can share more stories with
Yeah.
us.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Well, now we like to always open it up to all of you. We'd love to hear your stories. Whether you're in school or not, maybe you have, studied, gotten a certification, or just how this opportunity has supported you financially, and being able to create more residual income, or just give you the opportunity to build that for, your family. We'd love to open it up for you. If you would like to share your story, you can raise your virtual hand and we'll call on you. Oh, Naila, go ahead.
I'll come on and share. And if anybody else has shares, of course, raise your hand. But in the meantime, I can share a little bit about how I got started. Many of you all know that I was on maternity leave and I started this business just as a stay-at-home mom. I just had a new baby. I had 5 kids in 4 different schools and I was super busy. And this was something that came into my life at the perfect time because I was overwhelmed and I was undernourished and just really needing something to help support me and my health. Because let's be honest, when you're stressed by like 6:30 in the morning because you're trying to find everybody's shoes and make sure they have their lunch boxes and all the things, as we're all getting ready to do again right now, as all the kids are going back to school. And so it was just really stressful. And I had a brand new baby, so I had sleepless nights and all of that comes with that. And so during that time, I was introduced to these superfoods and it came to me at the perfect time because I was able to start building this business while I was on maternity leave. And within those 2 last months of maternity leave, I actually replaced my part-time income. And so that really allowed me to be able to actually fire my boss, so to say, and never go back to work. So that was 11 years ago. I've been able to support myself and my family with this incredible superfood business. But a couple years ago, even though I've built this business just as a stay-at-home mom, building my business, taking care of my kids, being able to show up at all their sports practices or whatever it was that was going on and really show up for them, I was also able to build this income that supported us to travel and do things that weren't really possible before when we just held down a job and paid the rent and the bills, which I know is what a lot of us are doing, is just barely making it. And so it was this opportunity allowed us to do so much more than what we were able to do before. And one of those things was I decided to go further my education and health because I was just so inspired by other people around me that were getting different kinds of degrees and learning more. So I started learning more about iridology and I started learning more about regenerative health. And I started buying books and getting different resources and joining a few different programs that really offered so much support and learning more about how our bodies can heal itself and how we don't actually have to be a statistic or somebody that falls prey to what we say is in our genes, because you can actually reverse those genes. You don't have to have diabetes or heart disease or all these different things that we're prone to because maybe our grandparents had it. You're actually able to avoid those by just taking care of your health and getting better nutrition, because it all actually stems in the food that we eat, right? And the food that we eat is either slowly poisoning us or it's helping our bodies to heal and thrive. And so that's really what it comes down to. And we have a choice every day when we eat food. And so that's what I'm really passionate about sharing. And, I've been able to build this business over the past 11 years, and you don't need a degree to build this business. Anybody can build this business alongside what you're already doing. For me, it was being a stay-at-home mom and being able to raise kids and show up in all the ways that I needed to show up for them while also building a business and, being able to do things I never thought was possible. So I just want to share a little bit about my experience and how I did actually, the income from this allowed me to be able to pursue furthering an education in, just bettering my knowledge of health and still be able to do all the other things that we wanted to do. So it's definitely allowed me to do that. And it's allowed me to just further my own knowledge and that personal growth within the community and seeking that knowledge, from these different courses that I took. So really grateful to be here. Thanks, Dominique, for hosting today.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that part of your story. I think it all boils down to, right, if we're going back to school, you want to follow your joy, right, your passion. And a lot of us that found this opportunity were just following, you know, the desire maybe to get healthy, to feel better, or also to be able to create income from home or to be with your family, like Naiva said. And when you follow that joy, it leads you to more and more joy. And whether, you know, you started as a customer and then you found this business opportunity like Grace and you decided to really launch your business and help more people, you can earn income doing what you love. And I think that no matter what it is that you're studying, if you're in school, if you're work in school, you know, with children, to really be able to nourish your body to continue to follow that joy. And, you know, like Naiva said, you don't have to be a practitioner or you don't have to study health to be able to help people here. But usually once you do get in here and you start to learn and see how impactful you can be with what we have, you kind of want to continue to follow that joy. It might open you up to new things that you love, just kind of like what Max shared too, and following real estate. He loves that too. So thank you for sharing. We have a few more minutes. Would anyone else like to share? You can raise your virtual hand. Okay. Well, no worries. Thank you all for joining us today. I just want to remind you that, like I said, with this business, you can earn while you learn. So a lot of us come into this business and maybe don't have any background in health and wellness, any background in entrepreneurship. I know that's how I was. I didn't know anything about entrepreneurship or building a business online. And I've learned so much from others from this community and also everyone else that's a part of our community. And, you know, when you do jump in here, you will have support to help you grow your business and continue to learn and expand your knowledge. So we have these calls every Thursday. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show you how you can continue to stay connected with us. Pull up Canva.
You want me to pull it up?
Yeah, if you have it, I have it pulled up. I'm trying to navigate a few things, but yeah, if you want, you can share it. Okay, great. So yeah, so we are wrapping up the last 2 weeks of August. We're continuing on with the theme of back to school. So next Thursday, you can join us and learn more about how you can support your loved ones that are on the spectrum, if they're autistic or just neurodivergent, how you can support them in getting back to school and getting back into a new routine with our superfoods and how it can really support them. And then the last Thursday of August, we're going to be highlighting back to school for children and just setting, you know, healthy and sustainable routines for them to find success while they go back to school. And you can also screenshot this and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find this replay of this call up so you can share this with anyone that you know that's in school or wanting to earn some extra income while they are studying or working and doing what they love and continue to nourish their bodies. But get back to the person who invited you to this call. They'll be able to support you in taking the next steps. And we look forward to seeing you back here and joining us again. Thank you all.